When the San Francisco 49ers aren't playing well, they're absolutely going to hear about it. And that's exactly what's happening. A lot of frustrated fans, people in the media sharing their thoughts and opinions, as that's what we're here to do. We're here to react to what we see. And right now, we're not seeing a lot of good things with the San Francisco 49ers. And one guy who's kind of in the crosshairs right now is Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel's taken a lot of heat, especially with how things have played out over the last couple of weeks and what he's been able to do this season. So John Lynch joined KNBR to kind of speak on that a little bit. People have questioned his explosiveness. They've questioned a lot of things about Deebo. And this is what John Lynch had to say on the matter. Take a listen right here.
It was a tough one all around the board, and you guys are going to Buffalo where things will be tough for sure. We continue to ask sort of the tough ones about the guys who aren't playing great. Deebo Samuel didn't have a great game, and he had the one kick return, which was great. And what was interesting, John, is I'm kind of like had a little moment yesterday, and I queued up that Netflix Receiver, and it was the episode where you guys went to Philly a year ago and beat them 42-19. Deebo had 3 touchdowns. He looked electric in that game. That was just 1 year ago, just shy of 1 year ago. He looks a little different now. I know you guys don't fully disclose injuries and everything. Maybe he's a little banged up, but would you comment maybe on fans who are saying, wow, I don't see Deebo as electric and as, say, I don't know, productive as he was maybe a year ago? What's the Niners' answer to that?
I think Deebo has made so many plays for us over such a long period of time here and been such a reason for our success that people have become accustomed to that. And the explosives haven't been there as much. You mentioned the kick return. Mm-hmm. You think about that play in the game, and that's what the NFL is all about, those type of plays. And, we finally won a coin toss. We hadn't won a coin toss, I think, since New England game. Mm-hmm. We deferred, and deferring gives you the opportunity to get the ball first out of halftime. Well, sure enough, it happens. We get down to I believe the 9-yard line, and we're going in. Then if we can score a touchdown, it's 17-14, and instead they call a hold that I still can't find on film. I think it was a perfect block by Eric Saubert. I think it was fundamental teach tape 101, and yet there were 2 flags on the ground. So, I'll leave it at that. But that was disappointing. But that looked like the Deebo that we need, that we expect, and hopefully there's more of that coming.
To John Lynch's point, he's 100% correct. I mean, Deebo Samuel had an 87-yard kickoff return that would have set the 49ers up for a scoring drive, at least 3 points. Hopefully you get a touchdown there. You cut the lead into a 1-score game, and boom, all of a sudden you have a game. It changes the complexion, the momentum of the game, and that turns out to be a really, really big play. I do agree with John Lynch about the holding penalty. Saubert just absolutely pancaked the guy, and just a huge blow. And again, when you're already kind of reeling, I think momentum shifts like that can really be damaging, and can really swing games, because they needed all the confidence they could get, and to be able to get that big return out of halftime and then potentially being able to score off that, cutting it to a 1-score lead, that changes the outcome. But obviously the conversation is about Deebo and just where he's currently at. If I had to give my honest opinion of Deebo Samuel, he's compared to quite a bit that 2021 season that he had, where he was just almost otherworldly in regards to the origination of the wide back and all of that stuff, where he single-handedly basically carried the 49ers offense to the playoffs, almost to the Super Bowl. I don't believe he is that same guy. Not like he's changed or anything. He doesn't look as explosive. And I don't know what you can contribute it to, but it's hard, right? Because I think when we looked at Deebo Samuel as a player, we knew that Deebo was going to probably break down sooner rather than later, opposed to other wide receivers, because he's such a physical player. He invites contact. He looks for contact. He beat, like he's looking to put a hit on someone, like he's almost like a defensive player with the ball in his hands. So we knew that there's going to be wear and tear on the body, and I think he's, dealt with injuries and he's dealt with a lot of things that, I don't know if it's had an impact or affected him. But I would say, like, he still has the ability to change the game. He still has the ability to be a playmaker. I just think the consistency level of that is what we're seeing. We're not seeing it as consistently. So when you're not seeing it as consistently, it's perceived as a fall off, as a drop off. Again, like, I don't think that it doesn't exist. I think Debo can be an explosive playmaker. We're just not seeing it at the level as it used to be. And, just a little bit less explosive than what he was, 2019 through 2021. Um, but it doesn't mean he can't be an effective player. And it's just a challenging spot to be in because everyone's so starved for 49ers success that when they don't get it, they're looking for someone to blame. And Deebo Samuel has, considering the contract that is, he's playing on, and the expectations heading into the off season about Deebo Samuel being in his best shape. And to Deebo's credit, he had a great training camp. But I don't know. I don't, because you go back to like the Seattle game, week 6, he has that huge touchdown. So he's capable of still making plays. It just, again, I think for me, it's really the consistency aspect of it. And obviously, he has to rely on the play call, the coverage, the quarterback throwing him the ball. There's a lot of different elements and different factors to it. So I'm not going to sit here and put it all on Deebo. Um, he can still be that guy, but it's just, we just haven't seen it this season when we needed him. We need him to be that guy. 49ers need him to be that difference maker. They need him right now because there's no Brandon Ayuk. Juwan Jennings has ascended as a player. And I think a lot of 49er fans just wanted to see Deebo take that ascension and take that next step and just really backpack this team again, like we saw him do in 2021. And, the things that have made him such a dynamic player. I think a lot of 49er fans are missing that Deebo. I think they want to see that guy again. And there's six games left, and who knows what the future holds. But hopefully he can provide a spark. Hopefully he can be a game-changing player and be a guy who can push this team forward because they need it. They need him to do that. He's one of the top players on the team for a reason. And so I think fans are like, well, all right, we'll start producing like that, start making game-changing plays. And again, to John Lynch's point, he did that in the Packers game. It just wasn't enough, but you also had the drops in that game. And again, it's a lot of different things, a lot of frustrations, a lot of just, I think a lot of people are pissed off this year. So it gets channeled into certain players, and Debo's at the top of the list. So I don't know, but I'm curious to know what your guys' assessment is of Deebo Samuel right now, what your thoughts are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.